It's working. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Drop Zone, brought to you by our partners at Doobie. And once again, you have your boys with you, Anthony Young and Jeff Walsh. How you doing today, bud?
Doing very good. I may be tired, but I am excited because I don't want to spoil the whole episode already, but I am excited for the rant that will happen in about T minus probably about 15 minutes. I'm very excited. Um, got again the NBA Finals. It is your New York Knicks against the San Antonio Spurs and the referees. So at this point, you guys are playing 8-on-5. With how it's being refed right now. But again, then we got a little bit NBA news, NFL news, and of course we have a dummy of the week. So other than that, I'm doing good. How are you doing, Tony?
Not too bad. Just still hanging in there. Back's still killing me, but that's because of the weather. We've been having raining a lot of rain here this week. So, but still hanging in there, still kicking.
That's good. Again, I know that the NBA Finals is making you very annoyed. So again, I honestly can't wait. When
Yeah.
anytime you have a rant, I can't wait for it.
So I think we should just get through like the NBA and NFL news,
Mm-hmm.
and then your dummy of the week, and then that way we could tie I could tie the rant in with the NBA finals because it's always going to go together.
Yep. All right. So with that, we will go into the NFL news. Cleveland Browns 7 times Pro Bowler left guard Joel Bitonio retired after 12 seasons. He is one of the best guards in the league. So the Browns will definitely miss him. He played pretty much every game, every season. And then Kansas City signed cornerback L'Jarius Sneed back after they traded him or whatever to the Titans, and then they lost for like a year. So he gets reunited with the Chiefs. Yeah, again, there's not a lot of NFL news. It's very quiet with the NBA Finals going on. I don't know if you have any comments on those two.
Not really. Um, Joe Bitonio retiring. That kind of doesn't surprise me. I mean, guards usually last about 12 years, 12 between 12 to 15 years in the league anyway because it's such a heavy position that they have to play, and they pretty much get hit the most outside of the running outside of the skill players. L'Jarius Sneed, I'm not surprised that they brought him back. I mean, he was one of their best corners. It was what, like 2 years ago, and so yeah.
Yeah, but the W of the week comes from the NFL. I swear we just talked about it. This is now the third week in a row. But Rams left tackle Arlaic John Jackson was arrested for domestic violence. I'm not gonna harp on it. I mean, I just have one thing to say about it.
Dummy. Yeah. dummy. Yeah.
Because I am so sick and tired of talking about this. It is, I think, weekly at this point, that some kind of either NBA or NFL player gets arrested for domestic violence. So, just you are the dummy of the week, Lake Jackson. Congrats. Um, and then on the NBA news, Atlanta has re-signed head coach Quinn Snyder to an extension, well earned. You know that team was doing absolutely awful at the beginning of last season, and then they turned it around to make it to the playoffs and have a little bit of a run in the playoffs. And then, unfortunately, in sad news, Chicago Bulls announced their former NBA player CeCe King has passed away at the age of 59. One of the most legendary voices in commentating history, in my opinion. Um, because my dad was a Bulls fan. We had the Bulls game on a lot when I was younger, and his voice was so recognizable, and he made the games very much enjoyable to watch with his analytics. So, thoughts and prayers go out to him or to his family and friends with this loss of such a legendary individual.
Yeah, that was a huge loss. Um, I remember Stacey King from those torturous Bulls years that my Knicks could never get past. And to hear him pass away at 59, I mean, yeah, it's again, like you said, our prayers go out to his family and all his friends, and
Yeah, again, it's very sad. He had just a very legendary voice, and just how just again he was just a very good commentator and analyst for that uh, network. So again, he will definitely be missed. Uh, but now we get into the NBA Finals. Again, there's not a lot of NBA news, a lot of NFL news. Most of the news is the NBA Finals and everything. Again, something I can't wait for is this rant. I don't know when it's coming, but I just know it's inevitable, and we're just gonna get right into it. Um, Game one, the Knicks take game one, 105-95, in San Antonio. Great all-around team effort, but Jalen Brunson absolutely took over with 30 points in this game. Yeah, OG Anunoby chipped in with 17 points, Towns with 18 points and 12 rebounds, and then Shamet with 13 off the bench. They were down by 14 at one point in this game, and then they came back and were able to win the game by 10. With the Spurs, their backcourt did not do so well. Devin Vassell and and De'Aaron Fox combined for 16 points on 7 of 24 shooting, and then he made one 3-pointer. But Champagnie, Wembanyama, Castle, and Harper really did give a valiant effort. It was a good game, but I know where this is going to go, so I'll let you have your thoughts on game one, Tony.
um, so game one, you could tell that the referees were pretty much blowing a lot of stupid calls. They was actually, it was more like they was playing football than it was playing basketball. With the amount of fouls that was, just ignored. Majority of the biggest fouls came in game two and game three. Game one was just some petty fouls, which you would expect. But once again, in game one, the Knicks showed their toughness. Like Jeff said, they was down by 14, and they battled back to win the game by 10. And again, I mean, Hart really didn't have a great game. He was only 1 for 5. Um, I mean, yeah, 1 for 5 with only 3 points. Mikal Bridges, I mean, his shooting wasn't there that night, but he was there defensively, and he just made it tough for the Spurs wing players to do anything. And Cat just basically almost pretty much owned Wembanyama. I mean, a lot of people will say, yeah, Wembanyama put up 26 points, but majority of it, wasn't on call. It was, just coming off of switches and stuff like that. They didn't have an answer for Brunson. Surprise, surprise. And then, the Knicks defense just does what they do. They force turnovers. So, but game 2 and 3 are the ones I really want to discuss. So I'll let you have your take on game 2 and 3 real quick, and then I'll go after that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just give my last comment on game one. It really showed resilience. I mean, yeah, Wembanyama had 26 points, but it was on very inefficient shooting. He went 6 of 21 from the field and 2 of 9 from the three. He had 12 of 13 from the free throw line. So, yes, his stat line looked good, but he was shut down in the first half. He had a decent second half, but it was very inefficient shooting, along with 6 turnovers as well. So I wouldn't say he was very dominant. I would say Cat had his number in game one. And then in game two, it was a very, very, very close game. The Knicks win 105 to 104 to take a 2-0 series lead. This is why I don't mind Hart and Bridges. Like if they have like a not good offensive game, I know that they're putting in the work on the other end of the court, which is on defensive end. So if they have like a bad one game, I know that Mikal Bridges offensively can be able to turn it around, which he did in this game. He had 20 points on 8-13 shooting, 4-6 from the 3-point line, and 6 rebounds and 6 assists, which is a very, very, very good stat line. Pretty much all starters hit 20 points other than Josh Hart, who had 0. But again, his impact on the defensive end, again, negates anything that he doesn't do on the offensive end at times. And Shamit already, again, he chipped in with 13 points off the bench, which, again, I can't believe that you guys almost didn't re-sign him. I believe he was your guys' last signing this
Yeah.
offseason. You guys almost let him go. But then for the Spurs, it was more of the same. Wembanyama had 29. De'Aaron Fox had a very kind of quiet game again. Devin Vassell had 14 points. Castle had 14 and Darren Harper had 15. I'm going to be completely honest. I did not watch much of this game because I have been working my ass off nonstop. I know you have. You are not happy about the officiating game 2 and 3. But I don't know if you want me to just go right into game 3 or if you want to give again a little bit of it in game 2, and just we'll talk about them each individually.
Okay, so in game 2, the officiating really started getting horrible. It was becoming more one-sided than I've ever seen in an NBA Finals. You could tell that they are trying to find a way to make sure the Spurs either win this series or at least stretch the series out. For the simple fact is, I've never seen where two players who are fighting for a position, pushing each other's back and forth, and when after they got them to separate, they give Mitchell Robinson a technical foul, but not Wembanyama, and they were both fighting for position, pushing each other back and forth. I know some people are gonna say, well, maybe You know, Robinson was pushing a little too aggressively. They were both fighting for jockeying for position and literally pushing each other back and forth. It wasn't like one was shoving. I mean, there was elbows thrown by both of them. Both players was pushing, but yet only Robinson got a technical. And then later in the game, um, De'Aaron Fox got into Brunson's face and started, jawing at Brunson, and he even shoved another Nick aside. And again, no technical fouls called. Not even, not even just a foul period. So the, I mean, the calls are just going like it's bizarre how they're calling technical fouls on. Even Josh Hart got a technical foul for, I think, because a player almost landed on his foot, and they try to say Josh Hart tried to undercut him, which was not even the case. So yeah, they're getting real bad with these calls because these calls are all going in favor of San Antonio. None of these calls are being, in favor of the Knicks. Even the last play when basically it was a game-winning play when Wembanyama turned the ball over, passing the ball to De'Aaron Fox, not De'Aaron Fox. Um,
Stephon Castle.
yes, thank you.
Mm.
And they basically hit him in the back, and Wembanyama ended up just pushing Brunson out of bounds, and he got away with that. It got worse in game three. I'm gonna let you take away game three. I'm going to turn some light on because all of a sudden it got dark because we're about to have a storm.
Yeah, I saw that. You went from light to a shadow. So, um, yeah, game two, you could tell the official. I know that Josh Hart got a flagrant, but that was kind of needed because he did trip a player while they were going for this ball. Other than that, again, I think, yeah, the shoving with Mitchell Robinson um and Wembanyama, again, either don't call anything at that point, give him a warning, or just give him a double check. Uh, don't just do it one sided. Uh, yeah, the officiating got kind of bad in game two, and then they didn't even hide it in game three of who they wanted to win. Um, they didn't really care. They was like, listen, we're gonna get the Spurs to win. They did not hide it in game three. So yeah, again, I will move on to game three so Tony can get his rant, which I know is gonna be amazing. Um it's bad because me and you love when each other get mad on the show because we just love hitting the rants. Um
Yeah, this one, um, at this point, the way the league is actually playing this out, it's about to make Adam Silver my number one hated commissioner, passing Roger Goodell. And
that's
if you
that's
watch the
incredible.
show,
Whew.
you know how much I just love Roger Goodell.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you fucking love him. I can go back to all the episodes and make a compilation of how many times you love him so much, which would be zero.
So, I
Do you
don't
want me to talk about
know.
game three for a little bit first, or do you want to just go like right into it and I'll kind of go back off of you?
Oh, I'm just gonna go right into it.
Okay, fine with me.
Um, so I don't know when the NBA decided to turn into WWE But last time I checked, it was pretty illegal to grab a player by the back of their neck and throw them to the ground. I'm pretty sure, that's um, definitely a flagrant one, and it was never called a flagrant one. And at the same time that that play was happening, um, Cat was having a flagrant foul put thrown on him as well, as I believe it was Harper got into Cat's chest and basically almost lifted him up off the ground. Neither plays were called a flagrant. Not even a common foul was even called. And that is getting well ridiculous. And then later in the game on the second half, um, I believe it was Castle. Basically, on a screen, ran through Jalen Brunson with a forearm to his chest. Basically, basically truck sticked him. I literally thought we was playing. They was playing Madden instead of NBA.
No, I don't
Um,
mean to pick up. I think I broke this fucking thing. It keeps popping up with the rant in progress. I fucking turned it off. I broke it. That's why I don't touch any buttons. That's why I
that's
didn't
what,
read off the stats.
that's all right. I fixed it.
All right, thank God. It was driving me nuts. I broke it. That's why I don't touch the buttons. All right, you can go ahead. I broke it.
So he basically truck sticked Jalen Brunson on the screen, sending Brunson flying to the floor. Brunson grabbed his lower back. I thought he was seriously injured from the way he grabbed his back. And then the basically this was a play that pretty much gave the Spurs the win. Was they gave the ball to the Knicks. The Knicks inbounded the ball. As soon as they inbounded the ball, they stopped the play because the Spurs had 6 players on the court, which normally results in a technical foul. Guess what? No technical foul was called. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, so you're telling me you could just put a 6 person on the court so you could find a way to, and remind you, this was all because they wanted to review a play, the Spurs wanted to review a play, which apparently their head coach don't know how to do it because you still got to call a timeout. And so he figured instead of calling a timeout, hey, I'll just send the 6th guy on the floor, force them to stop the play. Okay, but that should be a technical foul. And then, of course, this is where now Adam Silver, this is where my crosshairs now is marked on you because I received a message earlier today from ESPN that not one of those plays where Wembyama shoved Bronson down to the ground by his neck, the back of his neck, um, when Castle truck sticked him, when Harper basically truck sticked Cat, not one of them was even changed to a flagrant foul. Not one. They remain the same. And what makes it funny is they're classified as, well, the Spurs are just playing tough basketball. Now, we all know if that would have been reversed and the Knicks had been doing that, you're screaming dirty basketball all the way. So yeah, this is really getting to the point where it's more and more looking like the league wants the Spurs to win, which is why a lot of fans are getting upset with professional sports because, and why they saying this is all scripted, because of shit like this. You know, they tried in game two, and it didn't work when Biyama missed his jump shot, which resulted in the Spurs losing, going down 0-2. And they should have been down 0-3, but apparently now you could throw a six man on the court, to get a timeout, basically have the play stop and not get called for a technical. So I'm curious to see how tonight game is going to go.
I did like it. I did like the rant. Um, Normally I do not like hearing the refs sucked. It was the refs' fault. Watching what I did of the game while I was at work and then watching it back. Um, that was about the most lopsided officiating I've ever seen in my life.
Remind you,
Um,
so started not to cut you off, but in the second half, the free throw disparity was 24-8 in favor of San Antonio.
mhm, yeah. Uh, the Yama one, I literally can't even say anything about that. Like it's should have been mandatory flagrant one in called on the court. Um, Possibly flagrant two. The fact that they went back and reviewed it after the game, uh, this makes sense. Why they didn't upgrade it? I don't know why, Tony. Because Victor already has a few flagrant fouls in this playoffs. So if he gets two more, he's suspended.
And that's how awful how
Oh no, I'm
that
not saying it's your guys' fault. I'm just saying that's why they didn't give him flagrant.
well that never stopped them with Draymond Green.
Well, Victor Wembanyama is likable. He's have reputation. No, I'm not. I'm not coming close to defending it. That should have been a flagrant. But you could see where the refs and Adam Silver are really just kind of coming in and like, hey, don't give him a flagrant because if he gets one more, he's suspended. We can't have him suspended in the finals. That's where it's like, again, it's tough to watch it as a sports fan, but it's like, is this shit really fixed? Because when you watch a game like Game 3, Stephon Castles should have been upgraded to a flagrant. When Wembanyama should have been upgraded to a flagrant. De'Aaron Fox's, maybe. I'm not gonna full on say it, but maybe a flagrant. I know that Josh Hart and Luke Cornett got into it. That one, okay. I mean, people are getting mad about that one. Josh Hart, at that point, why are you going for the ball? You know it's a delay a game if you touch the ball after it goes in the net. So why are you even going to grab the ball? So that one people are getting mad about. I don't really care. Fucking Josh Hart, you got up and you pushed Luke Cornett. He didn't really do anything to you. You walked into him almost. So we're gonna just wash that one. But the whole six players on the court, the whole reason was because they were trying to delay time to be able to look at it on the tablet behind the thing. So they brought Dylan Harper over to the scores table without any of the officials waving over. They just brought him on, which again that just made no sense to me either. Which again should have been a technical at least. And I've never, again, I've been on this earth for 23 years, watching basketball for at least, I don't know, 18 of those years. I've never seen an officiating game like this. Um, and as a sports fan, it really makes you not want to watch it. Like, I'll watch it tonight just because, it's very interesting. It's NBA Finals. But if it was just a regular season normal NBA game, I ain't turning it on. Because what's the point? Because it's, that officiating was very piss poor. And I'm not even a Knicks fan, and I thought that was atrocious.
It was
Um,
beyond atrocious.
Again, and then for them to review all these fouls that should have flagrants in the time, like in the moment, to then go back and be like, nah, they weren't flagrants is and it's bogus. It's bogus. It's bullshit. Um, there's no other way to put it. Again, I mean, you said it best. Again, you're the avid Knicks fan. I'm just a sports fan right now. Um, but to watch that was absolutely abysmal, and it really does take away from a great series, in my opinion. I think these two teams are very evenly matched, and I think it would be a great series if you know the refs weren't so one-sided. And Adam Silver wasn't in their ear. I don't know if you feel that same way, but I think both these teams play at a high level. And if we could just take the whole referees out of it, I think this would be a great series. But I think right now they're kind of taken away from the magic of these series of what it could be. Um, so yeah, I mean that's my thoughts. I mean I don't have much to say else other than that on the game. I mean, Wembanyama had 32. I mean, cool, but he should have been at least given a flagrant. Castle 23. He should have been given a flagrant. Uh, Jalen Brunson, OG, I know, but he did great for the Knicks with 28 and 32 points. But yeah, I mean, this game, unfortunately, that's been the story of the series. It's been getting worse and worse and worse, and it's going from really what should be a great series with nobody talking about the refs to being that's pretty much all we're talking about right now. After Game 3.
To me, it's almost like that the Spurs are trying to force some kind of heated rivalry with the Knicks because I mean, there's really no call for any of those type of plays. I mean, then you're not in the same conference. You only see each other 2 times a year. Now, maybe the Spurs are upset because they got beat for the World Cup. Okay, if that's the case, fine. But again, there's still no call for that type of unnecessary plays. Like I said, I mean, it's almost like them trying to manufacture a rivalry when there's not one. And usually, when teams stoop that low, it's because they know that they can't beat the team that they're playing. And yeah, you texted me earlier. You know, we was talking earlier, and you was joking about it, saying Adam Silver made a call because the league can have the Knicks sweeping 3 teams in a row. You know, I mean, it still looks bad on Adam Silver.
Oh, I know.
And like I said, he's in my crosshairs, and trust me, that's the spot. That's the place you don't want to be. Ask Roger Goodell.
No, like I am. Believe me, I'm all about physical play. I am. Tony, I know you're on that side. You're an OG. You like the physical play in basketball.
The physical play, I
There's
don't
a
have a problem. It's just the unnecessary. You don't grab a player by the back of their neck and push them to the floor because you could seriously injure them.
mhm. There's a difference between being very physical and borderlining on, like you said, unnecessary and dirty, which is at least again the Wembanyama and the Castle play. But we're very unnecessary and dirty. Um, Again, I don't want to think that sports are scripted because it's really going to take the fun or enjoyment out of watching it. But again, when you have games like this that was just so clearly just one-sided. Um, to where the Knicks, no matter what they did, they just didn't have a chance because they were playing 8-on-5 uh the entire time. I mean, they were at home. At least that they gave them a bit of a boost. But again, I mean, this was just one of the worst officiated games I've ever had to bear witness to. Yeah, and we're in the NBA Finals, man. Like, I'm all about physicality, but I don't care who's doing the dirty plays. Call it on them because we don't need somebody getting hurt, seriously hurt, to where their say career is on the line. And again, you got stoop that low to hit uh Jalen Brunson like that. That's just uncalled for, necessary. Again, at least give them a flagrant one on both of that, and then maybe find them. But the fact that nothing happened, and Adam Silver really came out and said that there was not like that there was nothing wrong, but nothing that raised to the level of any flagrance in that. It's just absolutely just ridiculous, and we all know it. And again, that's what has him now in your line of sight as being one of the worst commissioners, in your opinion.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's just really uncalled for. Um, I wish Jay would hop on because I know he's a Spurs fan. I would like to hear his take on the situation. Because I'm pretty sure he has some type of feeling that I mean, I understand. We're both avid fans. He's an avid Spurs fan. I'm an avid Knicks fan. You're an avid Miami Heat fan. We all get, especially when teams are in the finals, that you want the refs to let them play and not call ticky tack fouls. But again, grabbing a player by the back of their neck and shoving them to the ground is not a ticky tack foul. That is a flagrant run at minimum. Really, it should be a flagrant too because it's not a basketball play. The Castle one where
Yeah,
he truck stick, okay, that could be that one I'm okay with being a flagrant foul. I mean, it shouldn't have been a common foul because he extended his forearm to his throat and chest area. But I mean, like you said, because Wembyama already has a couple of flagrant fouls, in the playoffs as already, and they're like, okay, we can't have him, have to sit out a game because he picked up another flagrant. But at the same time, you're also rewarding him for playing dirty by not giving him that last flagrant. So now you're telling him, you know, you got the green light to continue doing this because we're going to protect you and make sure you don't you don't miss any games.
yeah. The way um he looked at Brunson and smiled after Brunson, after he did that, and then Brunson walked up to him and confronted him. Almost made it look like the refs went up to the Spurs bench and said, "Listen, you guys can do whatever you want because we're not going to call it." And Victor just laughed and smiled after he did it. So again, his should have been again minimum flagrant one. Castle was an easy flagrant one. But again, then to just have them go back and just say that they didn't rise to the level is just absurd. And again, uh, I can see why Knicks fans are upset.
I was just reading the bottom. Somebody was
Mm-hmm.
blaming Donald Trump for the Knicks' loss by attending the game. Yeah,
Of course.
I'm not going to touch that. For the simple fact is, Yeah, I don't want to get us in trouble.
Yeah, no, we're just gonna
I'm going to just leave that alone because I do have my takes on that, and
we're just gonna move
yeah,
it along.
yeah,
Move it
I don't
along.
want us. I don't need us taken off the air.
No. The one thing I do want to say is, hey, Knicks fans, can we not be jumping Spurs fans in the streets, please? I've seen a lot of videos
Yeah, I don't.
circling.
Yeah, that I
Um,
don't agree with that.
I shouldn't need to say that, uh, as someone who's 23 and the people doing it are older than me. Um, the only way I don't, I do not, Doobie, our partners, I do not condone violence. I don't. But if they were wearing like referee jerseys, I would condone it for a little bit. Um, but they're just walking around in Knicks jerseys, Dave Robinson jerseys. You could tell they've been fans for a while. Can we not kick the living shit out of Spurs fans just because they're Spurs fans? Don't do that, please. I shouldn't need to say it, but I've seen a lot of videos circling online of the absolute just assaults against Spurs fans in the groups of New York fans. Again, you can love your team, you can support your team, um, whatever, but when it becomes violent, please don't do that. Again, I should need to say it, but I have to because Knicks fans are a little crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you to some degree. I mean, it's not the Spurs fans that cost us the game.
Hmm.
Now, if they was getting out of pocket saying stupid shit, I'm not going to say I condone it. I'm just going to say I understand.
Yeah. And the ones I've seen, I literally just see Spurs fans walking and Knicks fans literally just sucker punching them from behind.
Yeah,
That is like
that's not. That's just wrong.
that's just literally assault. Um, I think I saw a funny kind of stat that you guys had 20 points in the fourth quarter and there was 21 arrests after the game due
Yeah, I saw that
to
too.
assaults. Yeah. So again, just again, you could love your team, support your team. Please do not physically harm anybody else. All right, please. Uh Again, I shouldn't need to say it, but unfortunately with the amount of videos I've seen circling on the internet after that game, again, if someone says something to you, he all right, if it gets personal, I'm fine with you fucking sucker punching him. That's fine. If it's just like, oh, your team sucks, there's no need to hit them. Just be like, we're up 2-1 in the series, fuckhead. Like, just there's there's a point where violence I'm right with. There's no point where it's just uncalled for. If it was just about the game and stuff, all right. But if it got personal, uh, again, it's all hands on deck on that point. So, again, please don't be sucker punching each other, please.
So it's like I say, as long if they get out of pocket, I'm not saying I condone it. I'm just saying I understand. If it's just you're just having simple war, normal fan arguments, yeah, there's no need to sucker punch anybody. But like you say, if they get out of pocket, start, saying, talking about your family and stuff like that. Again, I'm not saying I condone it. I'm saying I understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of throw that in there because that was another big kind of headline and storyline that came out of the game. Was a lot of fan on fan violence, which again on this podcast we do not condone. in the slightest.
I actually got a message from ESPN about. Did I delete that? So apparently, the NYPD banned. Damn it! I hate when my phone does that. Okay, where was I just seen it? Okay, so apparently the NYPD banned spontaneous gatherings outside of Madison Square Garden ahead of Game 4. So they're already prepared for it, right? Oh, excuse me, right now. Oh, and there is one thing. I don't know if you got the alert for it. Um, that Adam Schefter reported with the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes.
Let me see here.
So
It's been
apparently
a very
the
long week, very long week, very long day. Give me a second.
well, this was just about 3 hours ago.
Yeah, so I probably didn't see it.
So it says the Chiefs are adding 2 more years to Patrick Mahomes' contract, tying him to Kansas City through the 2033 season at a value of $504.75 million, making it the first NFL deal valued at over a half a billion dollars. Holy fuck!
Here's the thing. He earned it though.
I'm not going to argue that.
He's one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen. And really has lifted this franchise from being okay with Alex Smith to being
Super Bowl champions.
the dynasty that it has been. People might argue, oh, it's not a dynasty. They've won a lot of motherfucking Super Bowls in the past fucking 8 years, all right? With what he's done with those teams, with sometimes very limited offensive weapons, is very impressive. Yeah, that is crazy. $504.75 million. Holy fuck.
Oh, here's another one that just occurred. Colts wide receiver Alec Pierce, fresh off his 4 year, $114 million contract extension, might be sidelined well into training camp due to his off-season left ankle surgery.
That'll be a huge loss because, again, they just traded away Michael Pittman to the Steelers. So, the Dolphins re-signed their center Aaron Brewer to a 3-year, $52.5 million extension that includes $37 million guaranteed. Makes him one of the highest paid centers in the league in a deal done by. Oh, that's just devastating. Oh, wow. The Eagles signed former Bills defensive end AJ Epinesa. Epinesa was originally Buffalo's 2022nd round pick. He planned to sign with the Browns in March, but didn't pass his physical. He now lands in Philadelphia. And wow, Game 3 of the NBA Finals was the most watched Game 3 since 1998.
Averaging 23.8 million.
Yep, average audience peaked 26.3 million, plus 159% year over year. Very, very impressive. Yeah, there's Alec Pierce. There's that one. Ravens defensive end Calais Campbell believes his 19th NFL season will be his final.
About
Ayuk has
time.
more harsh comments on the Niners. Bro, can this saga end? It's almost like him and AJ Brown. Oh my god, can this like Niners and Ayuk saga end ever? Like, oh my god,
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing too.
I want to see what his harsh words were. That's interesting. I want to hear it. On Tuesday, Ayuk again posted a video to Instagram. This time it was a 30-second video in which Ayuk appears to call the Niners dumb and stupid. You want to know what they really mad though? Or you want to know why they were mad though? They mad because they stupid, they dumb, they mad that they paid me $50 million in 8 months and then voided my guarantees for 2027, and I vowed to be on a new team in 2027. They mad at themselves for real N words, acting like they mad at me, but they stupid ass mad at them at themselves. It's unclear if Ayuk misspoke when discussing playing for a new team in 2027, as the has been that he will eventually shake loose from the Niners at some point before or during the 2026 season. After Alexis stalemate, the Niners signed Ayuk to a 4-year, $120 million contract extension in 2024. The deal included $23 million signing bonus, and Ayuk has earned 48.15. Wow.
Yeah, I'm just ready for that saga to be over.
Yeah. Ayuk never explicitly mentions the Niners, but spends much of the video describing someone as little boys and female dogs, uh, and implies that the team is scared to release him because it's afraid that Ayuk could come back to haunt it if he lands elsewhere.
You know, I usually enjoy rants by players because they're so honest. I gotta say, this one makes him look like an ass.
Like what team would want him? Well, they're scared to get rid of me because I'm going to do good. And want to know the team that he wants to play for? Take a wild guess.
Don't say my fucking Giants. We don't want his ass.
No, it's in your conference though, or division.
The Cowgirls,
No, the
E-
Commanders.
Eagles, or the Commanders.
Yeah, because Washington quarterback Jalen Daniels is a close friend of Ayuk's from their shared time at Arizona State. Um, all of that comes on the heels of a June 3rd news that the Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office issued a warrant for Ayuk's arrest on a misdemeanor charge of exhibition of speeding. There you go. The warrant is in reference to a video Ayuk posted to YouTube in December, of which he appeared to tape himself from the driver's seat going well over this posted speed 4 miles per hour speed limit on a road that runs past Levi Stadium. Now that June 1st has passed, the Niners can trade or release Ayuk with the rest of the dead money owed to him split up over the next 2 years rather than just 2026. But the Niners have no deadline to release Ayuk because he remains on the reserve/left squad list, which means he's not being paid and does not count against their 90-man roster. If Ayuk does not report when the Niners open training camp in late July, he would revert to the reserve did not report list, which would trigger fines of up to $50,000 per day. Yeah, that's all you can really do. It's just
Shake your head.
shake your head. Yeah, just I mean, he
Dummy.
gets it too.
Yeah. Dummy. 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 Yeah.
Like I said before, you know, we love it when players are honest and speak the truth. But at some point, I mean, you got to think about what you're saying. There's a difference between, speaking the truth and being honest about, your time there. But when you start calling people out by their names outside of their names, you're making yourself like more like an ass than anything else. And he's not doing himself any favors by doing that.
No, he's not. I mean, to call the team that you're still on stupid and idiots, ah, makes again, like you said, makes him look like an ass. But yeah, that's all I got. That was all the news from Adam Schefter that I scrolled down and found.
Yeah, I don't have much left. I mean, my rant's over. So we're gonna have a word from our partner. I'm gonna have to come up with a new one. Warning: your current energy drink is about to get replaced. Meet Doobie, the clean, jitter-free fuel built for games, grinders, and anyone who refuses to run on empty. No crashes, no sugar overload, just laser focus, smooth energy, and straight up performance. You don't sip Doobie, you level up with it. So ask yourself, are you still playing on low energy or are you ready to unlock your full power? Grab your Doobie, lock in, dominate.
And again, thank you for Doobie for partnering with us for such a long time. And once again, if you want to go over to the website, doobie.com, get anything, you could type in our code, uh, our promo code DropZone for 15% off your order.
Um, yeah, I don't have anything else. Just remember, if you're only watching this on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bells for the notifications so you know when we're coming on. Um, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, that's it. Again, when the finals end, me and you will concoct some creative ideas of what to talk about, like we did last season. Eventually, we'll do our NFL preseason predictions, which is always my and your kind of favorite thing to do. Um, but yeah, again, when the finals end, we will have some creative ways to come at you every Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern.
Well, by the time the finals ends, well, depending on if it goes past 5 games, um, we should have some NFL news coming up because minicamp should be starting shortly. Yeah, other than that, yeah, into the end of basically to the middle of July, we might be in trouble.
Again, we always think of something.
Somebody
We,
always does something to make us.
hmm
I'm sure.
Yeah, we think of a list of or two of things to talk about. So again, we'll be fine.
So until next week, enjoy the rest of your week, folks.
Have a good one.